So right after you update to iOS 16, you are greeted with a new lock screen. And I gotta say, it feels weird at first. The text is a lot bigger and bolder than before, and it immediately reminded me of my friend's Android phone. Yeah, didn't feel right. I mean, like years of seeing the exact same date and time had to have some effect. But yeah, after playing with it for like 5 minutes, I was on board. I switched over to the default iOS 16 wallpaper and it kind of started to look good. The depth effect really makes the wallpaper stand out. Yeah, definitely a step up. But that's not the only new wallpaper in iOS 16. In fact, this has to be like the biggest update to wallpapers ever in iOS. Like, look at this weather one, which shows you the live weather conditions at your location right on the lock screen. So you don't even need to open the weather app anymore. Yeah, but currently it's kind of hot in here at my location, so I've yet to see anything other than the shining sun. But it is supposed to reflect rain, clouds, or whatever conditions you have, and it transitions really well into the night sky with dark mode and the stars. Then there's collections, which currently only has the wallpaper that I just showed you, but I believe there will be more added in the final release. Next, Astronomy is kind of like a throwback to the OG iPhone and the 3GS, but this is like way more dynamic and even updates live for your location. So it'll look a little different based on where you are and the time of the day. Yeah, but the level of detail here is quite impressive, and there's a nice animation every time you unlock. Yeah, so good. It honestly looks way better in person than I thought, and it's definitely one of my favorites among the live ones. You also have 5 different variations to choose from, like Earth, which is more like the OG, and then Earth Detail, which is my favorite. And then you also have the Moon and Moon Detail, along with a full-on solar system, which I believe shows the exact location of different planets in their orbits. So yeah, pretty fascinating, but we have more. There is Color, which takes a single color for the background with different presets like Vibrant, Tone, Deep, Vapor, Bright, and Solid, which is what I find myself sticking to. You have a range of colors to choose from here, but you can also use any color you want. Yeah, I've yet to find something I really like, but the options here are endless. Then we have Emoji, which are literally all over the place. You have a bunch of options here with a small, medium, or large grid, or you can go crazy with spirals and rings. Yeah, you can enter up to 6 of your own emojis and create the perfect one for you. I honestly see so much potential here, and we're going to see some interesting combinations for sure. Next, we have Unity, which has these 2 wallpapers, and I'm not even sure what these represent, so I'm going to move on. You can also have your lock screen shuffle through your photos throughout the day, just like on the Apple Watch, and you can set how often you'd like it to change from here. Yeah, I've yet to fully test this out. Next, you have this really good looking Pride wallpaper that has its own animation when you unlock and also when you wake it up. Then there are the retro ones from Apple's old collection, but these now look much better with the depth effect, and there's little zoom in every time you unlock. And finally, we have the bokeh that is literally the same as before. Okay, that was quite a lot, but we are not done yet. So like, apart from all the ones in the gallery, you can also create your own lock screens and customize them however you want. Yes, like every element on the lock screen can now be customized, starting with the date at the top. Here, apart from the day and date, you can instead have your upcoming calendar events, time at different time zones, alarms, your fitness activity, which by the way now works without an Apple Watch. Yes, you also have reminders, stocks, and weather data like temperature, rain, wind, all that. Yeah, a lot of it feels inspired by the Apple Watch and the complications you can put on there. But yeah, coming down to the clock, you have 6 different font styles to choose from that are again reminiscent of the Apple Watch. Yeah, you can also go ahead and change the text color from here. So yeah, it's kind of limited with only 6 different styles, but it does give you a good amount of options while making sure that you never end up with a bad looking lock screen. And below that, you have space for widgets. Yep, and these are entirely different from the ones on your home screen. Okay, so the widgets here come in 2 different sizes, a tiny square or a rectangle, and you can have up to 4 of the small ones together at the same time. Alright, first is the batteries widget, which shows you the battery level of your phone or even your AirPods if they are connected. Pretty sweet. You have calendar, which shows you the date or your next event. You have clock for different time zones and alarms. And you can now finally have your fitness rings on your lock screen. Then there's the home widget, which has a bunch of different options. And what's funny is that you can even put news on there if you'd like. And then there are your reminders, stock symbols, and of course, the weather. Yeah, these are all the stock Apple widgets in beta 1, but there will be more when iOS 16 launches in September. But yeah, these actually look great and pretty useful to me. One thing though that I don't like is how the reminders and calendar widgets are not locked down with the phone. Like it's always going to show them on the lock screen. Like I'd really prefer if it only showed the contents when I'm looking, like it is with notifications. But yeah, with all the options you have from what's above the clock to what's below it, to the clock itself. This is like true actual customization without too many restrictions. So yeah, we've gone from like literally every other iPhone looking the same to now no two iPhones are going to look the same. Yeah, this feels even more groundbreaking than iOS 14, and we've not even unlocked the phone yet. Yeah, but before we do that, we gotta address the notifications. The first thing is notifications now roll in from the bottom instead of the top. This does make the lock screen look a bit cleaner, but it's kind of disorienting at first. Yeah, you swipe up on them to show more, and then swipe down to put them back. I'm still not sure how I feel about them just yet, but I like how you can completely hide the notifications without dismissing them or unlocking your phone. Yeah, just swipe down. Yeah, and there's this unread counter at the bottom that tells you how many new notifications you've had. And the second thing is something called live activities. These are like consistent notifications that can now stay on the lock screen and update live. Like the now playing widget is now a live activity. It appears when you're playing music and goes away when you're not. Timers are also live activities and show up when they're about to go off. And soon, other apps will be able to display these widgets essentially. Like Uber has one in the works. Think of like game scores updating live on your lock screen. Yeah, that type of stuff. Okay, and one last thing about the lock screen is now you can link them with focus modes. So like you can have a lock screen for work and a personal one for play and even sleep. Yeah, you can have them switch automatically with different focus modes, or you can also switch to different focus modes by just changing your lock screen. Yeah, this is getting too good to create like a what's on my iPhone setup. So definitely subscribe if you like to see that, and tell me in the comments what was your favorite lock screen. Drop a like for the algorithm, and I'll see you in my next video.